What's good, Joe? Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to another F1 video on this lovely, lovely Tuesday. Now, F1 rules. Made to stop one driver explaining 13 minutes. Shout out to Bro made the video. All credit goes to him. Big, big time. Boys and girls, very, 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 very excited. Now listen. I've mentioned this before, but we are on the F1 mid-season break. So you guys let me know how you guys handling mid-season break. You guys watching more F1 videos? You guys watching me? You read more articles, just chilling, relaxing. I think I've been more of just, relaxing a tad bit. I haven't been reading as much of the F1, F1 news and all going on because there's no races. But I think during this time, I think teams are doing some car changes, going over a few things. But hopefully second half of the season should be good. Dutch GP, Verstappen's race. So let's see what goes down with that. But we are finna check it out. We are finna see what's on. As always, boys and girls, don't forget to like the video and sub as well. Should be a good one. Should be a great one. Also, we guys do want to become members. So I'm all for it. If you want to do it, no issue. Make sure you guys do that. Like I said, we got little bro, big bro. You guys already know that. And that's enough of me talking. Enough of me rambling. That's the intro. Let's get started.
Juan Manuel Fangio. Back before screaming V10s and DRS wings, Formula One was basically airplane engines bolted to cigar-shaped cars. The championship launches in 1950, and
airplane engines is crazy.
right away, one driver, Juan Manuel Fangio, starts bullying everybody. He's 40, he's cool as ice, and he grabs 3 of the first 4 titles in machines running 4.5-liter monsters. The FIA freaks out. Cars are lapping the old Spa at 250 kilometers per hour on bicycle-thin tires, and Fangio still makes them look slow. So for 1954, they rip up the rulebook. New limit, 2.5 liters, literally cutting engine size in half. Problem solved. Or so they think. Fangio just shrugs, jumps to Mercedes mid-season, and rolls out the silver W196, fuel-injected, sleek wheel covers, big James Bond energy. He wins on debut, keeps winning, and by 1955, he's champion again, leading a third of every lap that year. That engine downsize rule was written to clip Fangio's wings. Instead, it hands him the perfect playground to prove he's untouchable. And it becomes the template for every nerf the champion rule change that comes later. Jim Clark, fast forward to the mid-60s. Lotus boss Colin Chapman figures out the cheat code. Simplify, then add lightness. He bolts Jim Clark into the Lotus 25. First full monocoque F1 car, and the thing weighs less than a weekend suitcase. Other teams show up with tractors. Clark shows up with a paper airplane and still blitzes them, winning the 63 title by 25 points. Paddock politics go nuts. Rivals claim the Lotus is basically a rolling fuel bomb. Ultra-thin aluminum skin, rubber fuel bags sloshing around next to the driver. FIA listens. Safety is the new buzzword, and boom, 1966. Appendix J drops minimum weight. Cars must tip the scales at 500 kilograms. Bladder-type fuel cells. No more old-school tanks that split like Coke cans. Everyone thinks that'll slow Clark down. Spoiler, it doesn't. Chapman just hides ballast under the seat, wraps the new rubber fuel bladder.
So they hang on Jim Clark for just having a lighter car? That's what it sounds like. You know what? Some of these old guys back in the day were more some hater energy. The only thing Jim Clark did was just make his car lighter compared to other cars. Fangio, he was that dude. So you can't hate on Fangio and Jim Clark for just noticing an issue, correcting the issue, making cars faster than what they should have, or handle better way, that they should have.
In Kevlar, and Clark still takes Indianapolis in 65 and 8 wins in 67.
Disgusting.
Lotus loses maybe 15 kilos of advantage, but talent plus aero still equals trophies. The make it heavier rule was written with Jim Clark's name all over it. Yet the Flying Scotsman keeps flying, proving you can weigh down a Lotus, but you can't weigh down genius. Jackie Stewart. Jackie Stewart hits Formula One like a plaid-helmeted missile. At power tracks such as Monza and the old Nürburgring, he turns follow the leader into a superweapon. Tuck in the draft, slingshot past, repeat. The 1971 Italian GP proves the point. Cars average 242 kilometers an hour, and the top 5 cross the line in half a second. Fans love it. Race directors have a heart attack. Back then, Monza is basically 4 flat-out straights and 2 banked corners. Miss a braking point, and you're in the trees. Stewart wins anyway, and suddenly the sport wonders if pure speed has gone feral. Cue the concrete. For 1972, the FIA bulldozes 2 permanent chicanes, Variante Retifilo at the main straight, Variante Ascari out back. designed for one purpose: break Jackie's toe.
That's crazy.
First race with the new layout, and Stewart still sticks the car on the podium. 2 years later, he retires with 3 titles and a trophy cabinet of safety reforms. The rule change slowed the cars, but it couldn't slow the Flying Scot. Niki Lauda.
It seemed
Lauda's
like a lot of these
312T
changes
wins
the
5
FIA was
races in
trying to do
75,
didn't really
V12
affect
gulping
drivers.
petrol like espresso. Rivals cried fuel economy foul, so the FIA froze capacity at 220 liters and banned all in-race refueling for 1976. Lauda adapted, smooth throttle, surgical gear changes, and still led the championship before his Nürburgring crash.
Yeah,
The rule trimmed Ferrari's horsepower edge, but it couldn't nerf the man nicknamed the Computer. Alain Prost. Early 83, Prost's turbo Renault RE30C is a rolling thundercloud. 650 horsepower, 13,500 RPM,
That's fast.
flames at every upshift.
That's fast.
While Cosworth cars short-shifted at 11,000 RPM, Prost hit 13,500 and walked pole by a full second. 4 wins before July and a 14-lap lead tally nobody could match. New rulebook, 2 bullets. For 1983, the FIA installed pop-off valves that dumped air once manifold pressure cleared at 2.9 bar and mandated a single 220-liter fuel cell. No refuel allowed.
That's real
Reliability
sophisticated.
gremlins bit, and the title slipped to Nelson Piquet by just 2 points. Ayrton Senna. 1992, Formula One
Damn.
changed forever. The
That's
Williams
crazy.
FW14B hit the track with active suspension, traction maps, launch control. While other cars bounced across the asphalt, Mansell was gliding like a laser beam. He won 9 out of 16 races and pocketed the championship.
Going
But
crazy.
Senna saw something else: invincibility. By the end of 1993, he left McLaren and joined Williams. With that technology, Senna believed he would be untouchable. But the FIA didn't want robot racing, so they banned active suspension, traction control, and launch maps. On paper, the Williams FW16 was fast. On track, it was something else: twitchy, unstable, unpredictable. First 3 races, 0 wins.
Damn.
Next stop, Imola, lap 7. Steering column failure. The car drifts off and hits the Tamburello wall. The greatest talent of his generation was gone, and the paddock fell silent. The FIA had banned the technology but forgot to improve the safety. It took Senna's loss to finally make them act. Wooden skid blocks, diffuser cuts, pit lane speed limits. It was all too late. Every modern safety rule is written twice. Once for technology, once for Ayrton. Nigel Mansell.
So, also, we all know about what happened to Senna, like we just saw. So, I guess the Williams car with Mansell, the active suspension allowed him to drive smoothly compared to other cars. So they got rid of it when Senna gets there. And obviously that led to the tragic event. I don't want to, can't think of like the word. Anyway, let's just keep going. But like, not put blame on FIA for that, but
Williams' FW14B floated through turn 8 like it had magnets to the asphalt. Hydraulic rams read the track and re-leveled the car 1,000 times per lap. By mid-season, Mansell had 5 wins and a 40-point lead, so rival teams marched to Paris. The FIA's response: Technical Directive 1692. All ride height sensors had to run through a sealed black box ECU, test day data logging was capped, and any hydraulic accumulator over 40 bar was outlawed. Williams lost its real-time calibration trick.
that's crazy.
Mansell still
bro.
clinched the title in August. 12 months later, active suspension was banned outright. The Lion roared on. The system that made him unstoppable was already living on borrowed time.
That's my dog.
Michael Schumacher, 2004, is
It
red
seems like a lot of
painted
these teams just be hating.
Michael Schumacher, Ferrari F,
'Cause they can't do what the
2004,
other teams do.
Bridgestone tires, 13 wins, title locked by August. Everyone else, fighting for crumbs. TV ratings dip outside Italy.
Ooh,
Rivals claim fans are sick of red robot racing,
yeah.
so the FIA drops a grenade for 2005. One set of tires must last the whole Grand Prix, unless they're punctured or weather flips.
That's fair.
The
That's
idea?
fair. That's
Slice
fair.
off Ferrari's Bridgestone advantage and force Michael to pace himself. Race morning. Michelin tells its 7 teams their rear rubber can't survive. Turn 13's banking at full tilt. 5 minutes later, 14 cars peel into the pits, shut off the engines, and 130,000 fans
Yeah.
boo so loud Jim Clark probably hears it in heaven.
That was crazy.
Only 6 Bridgestone cars take the green. Schumacher wins a race nobody wants. By winter, everybody agrees the experiment is flaming trash. For 2006, tire changes return. Well, Michael still bags 5 wins in his farewell year. The no-stop rubber rule was handwritten for Schumacher, but it ended up nuking the show instead of the champ. Fernando Alonso, Renault's R26 carried a secret passenger, a
Fernando.
9-kilo tungsten puck suspended on springs, oscillating in the nose cone so the chassis stayed laser flat over curbs. Alonso nicknamed it "My Invisible Traction Control." Rivals claimed moving ballast broke the spirit of Article 3.15. FIA responded mid-championship with Technical Directive 30/06. Any device that altered the car's center of gravity while running.
Now, quick question. Do y'all prefer having these changes at the start of the season, the middle of the season, or at the end of the season? Like, I think I'm more of like, well, I think it probably depends on like what the rule is. Like, if it's something that needs to happen, then I would do it now. But if it's something that can wait till like the end of the season, I always wait to the end of the season to like fix the rule. Because if you look at like a lot of these drivers, they had great seasons last year, but then also they added the rule change like at the end of the season. But if we're gonna do something mid-season, like a whole new set of rules, like come on, bro, like already halfway through the season, it's halfway done. Then you want to add in these 2 or 3 big rules that's gonna, probably mess me up, mess my team up, mess my car up. I mean,
Was
look at Fernando
instantly
now.
illegal. Ride height jitter returned, front tires overheated, and Fernando's 25-point cushion shrank to 8.
That's crazy.
Yet with silky throttle and tire nurse mode, he still sealed the 2006 crown in
but
Suzuka,
still though,
proving that the brain can outthink missing ballast.
still,
Across
though,
2005 to
that's
6, Michelin's softer carcass and wide operating window made Alonso untouchable on Sundays. Ferrari's Bridgestones fizzed and faded. Team bosses pushed for tire parity, so the FIA wrote a 4-year exclusivity deal. Bridgestone, the one and only 2007 to 10.
that's fine.
Alonso jumped to McLaren expecting a level field, instead wrestling stone-cold rubber that took 6 laps to switch on. He still scored 4 wins, but late race tire drop cost crucial points, and Raikkonen stole the title by a single marker in Brazil. The rule flattened the grid and pancaked Alonso's momentum.
Damn, Alonso.
Sebastian Vettel.
That sucks, bro.
By the end of 2010, it's Seb versus physics. Red Bull's RB6 pumps exhaust fumes over the diffuser, even when Vettel is off throttle, gluing the rear like Gorilla Tape. He grabs the title at 23. Here's the trick. Burn a dribble of fuel while the throttle is closed. Hot gas rushes under the floor, seals the diffuser, and boom. Instant downforce through every corner. Rivals stare under the car like kids under a Christmas tree. Enter the fun police.
They nosy. Drivers are nosy as hell, bro. So after every race, they just gonna just look under. Oh, come on, bro.
The FIA issues Technical Directive 15/11. From the British Grand Prix cars must cut throttle to 10% when the driver lifts. Translation, bye-bye off-throttle blowing. Thursday turns into a courtroom. Red Bull says the ban is moving goalposts. Renault claims it will melt pistons. Ferrari says enforce it yesterday. Race day, cold track, neutered maps. Vettel stuck in second gear, figuratively. Alonso wins for Ferrari, British fans sing. Headlines read, blown diffuser era over. Except 2 weeks later, the FIA softens the directive, teams hack new engine maps, and the RB7 goes right back to warp speed. Vettel finishes the year with 11 wins, 15 poles, 394 points. Records at the time. The Stop Seb
ridiculous.
patch lasted 3 races. Moral of the story? Outlaw the gadget, the genius rewrites the code.
Yeah, he's still
Lewis
gonna find
Hamilton.
a way.
By
Still
the
gonna find a way.
mid-2000s,
Lewis Hamilton.
Mercedes is steamrolling the hybrid era, and Lewis Hamilton is basically on a Zoom call while driving. Every lap, the garage feeds him tire temps, brake switches, Strat 2, Strat 5. Fans start calling it engineer karting. Rivals grumble that Lewis has a second brain in his ear.
What's wrong with
Cue
that?
the clamp down. For 2016, a revised sporting regulation 20.1 says, the driver must drive the car alone and unaided. Translation, no more coaching on brake balance, engine maps, or tire chatter.
Whoa, what's wrong with that? It's just extra help. I don't see an issue with that, chat. I don't see an issue with that. Maybe that's just me. But I don't see an issue with that. It's just an added, technology advancement to help out the driver. It ain't my bad the other teams ain't there yet. So why should Lewis suffer for that? Why should anybody suffer for that if they were doing that?
First
That's
guinea
crazy.
pig? Hamilton restarts
That's
after a red flag
crazy.
shouting, what mode am I in? The pit wall stays silent. Radio jail. He finishes 5th. Rosberg
That's
wins and takes the
crazy.
title. Did it stop him? Spoiler. 3 straight crowns say no. Mercedes just preloads the info on steering wheel menus, and Lewis memorizes a phone book worth of toggles. Then Mercedes drops DAS, dual axis steering. Hamilton pulls the wheel, toes angle inward, tires heat evenly, straight line drag drops. The paddock's jaw dislocates. The FIA green lights it for 2020, but stamps illegal from 2021. One season wonder. Hamilton uses DAS to finesse tire temps in Turkey, climbs from 6th to 1st, and clinches title number 7, matching Schumacher on a soaked track. The pattern is clear. Give Hamilton a rule, he'll read it like a lawyer and drive through the loophole. When the loophole closes, he's already holding another trophy. Max Verstappen, Abu Dhabi 2021.
Oh, yeah.
The title fight is a Netflix cliffhanger. Safety car comes out with 5 laps to go. Hamilton's on ancient hards. Verstappen dives for fresh softs. Race director Michael Masi lets the 5-lapped cars between Lewis and Max unlap themselves, but not the rest. Half-pregnant rulemaking in real time. 1-lap shootout. Max sends it. New world champion. 3 months later, the FIA rewrites Article 55.13. If the clerk instructs lapped cars to overtake, all lapped cars must pass, and the safety car will enter at the end of the following lap. Translation: no improv jazz from race control ever again. But Max had already triggered another tweak. Brazil 2021 sprint. He zigzags down the main straight to break Hamilton's toe. 3 moves. Fans call it the Verswerven. For 2022, the race director's notes add a line. Any one move and return maneuver designed to impede slipstream will be deemed potentially dangerous. Result: Verstappen adjusts, wins Imola, Austin, Mexico with 0 weaving flags. Beat the system, don't fight the paperwork. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more deep...
I'm mad at it. See, it's a lot of these guys were just finding loopholes that were illegal. That were illegal at the time, and you know, obviously they won because of it. They won, you know, the races, championship, whatever. But I mean, look at like the Mansells, the Sennas, Alan Prost. Like, damn, that sucks. But even go back to like Jackie Stewart, Fangio, you know, Jim Clark. Like, bro, they just... to me, they just had bad cars at that time, and then teams got mad and felt a type of way. But you guys let me know. But as always, you guys let me know how you guys feel in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video, stuff as well. Take care. Stay amazing. As always, see you guys soon. Peace.